Hey folks, welcome back. It's Greg here, the OJSeez, the jazz tourist here in Paris. I'm on the east side of Paris, near the Père Lachaise, which is the resting place of a whole lot of people, a lot of cultural, you know, superstars. Anyway, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here because of that store behind me. It's a little bit out of focus. But anyway, I'll take a picture and show you the front pages, or the front of the store rather. So that's the store is called Souffle Continu, which I believe translated into English means kind of continuous blowing. So that's kind of a reference to a saxophonist's solo where it's just a constant kind of breathing and blowing a tune at the same time. So it's kind of a cool name for a store. Anyway, this place has been on my radar for many months. I was going to say years, but it actually has only found about it when I went down to Lyon and found out that they actually press their own, or I should say repress, some old jazz and free jazz from the early 70s. A lot of it's kind of French based, or France based, I should say. There's also, it's a really fabulous store. I took a few photos in there. I don't like to record while I'm in there, but let me show you some of those as I go along here. But so they've got their own label, right, and it's mostly, if not, it's almost entirely new stock in there. There's a small section at the front of the store where there's some used jazz records and rock and independent punk records, but there's probably like 2 bins. The rest of the store, which is actually a pretty good sized store, one of the bigger ones I've been to, really easy to move around. There's some great books in there, a few of them in English, most is in French. I would say 80% is music related. Good section on jazz as well. But it's a fantastic store for independent record companies, right? Labels, record labels. So a lot of stuff that you're just not going to see in North America or even in the UK. And because of that, I was really quite pleasantly surprised. The prices are fabulous, even for some of the American, even the Blue Note reissues, which you routinely see here in France and in Paris for well over 30, sometimes over 40 euros for a reissue from Blue Note. Here it was much more reasonably priced. It was just done, I think it was about 23 euros or so. Anyway, so overall I was super impressed. Great prices, a really fabulous selection. I came here for a couple LPs that I've been looking out for, that Souffle Continu presses themselves. So I'll show those a little bit afterwards. And what else can I tell you about the store? Yeah, so a lot of independent labels here, a lot of stuff that you're never going to find elsewhere, a lot of Paris independent labels. What else? So it's largely kind of jazz, funk, international music, some prog, some rock, but most of the rock is kind of indie rock as well. Some noise LPs, library LPs. So if you're a collector of those LPs and you just can't find an original, this is by far the place to go in Paris. In fact, I would come check it out anyway, even if you're not like me. I don't really collect a lot of new LPs or reissues, I should say. I don't buy a lot of reissues, but this place is it's just it's going to be impossible to find like 90% of the things that are reissued here in this store. So highly recommend it. A little bit out of the way for me because I'm down in the 13th. So it was about 40 minutes to get here, but it's well worth it. Highly recommend it. So I'm going to let you go now, and I'm going to head down the street and see if I can find another store which has a very mixed ratings, but apparently has a wonderful selection of old original jazz releases. But I'm hearing that the prices might be a little bit on the spendy side, so let's go check it. So I've just walked about maybe 10 minutes. I'm still here on the east side. So I'm in the 11th arrondissement here in Paris. And I've decided to drop by the store over my shoulder here called Heartbeat. I'm already starting to whisper. You know where this is headed. This is called Heartbeat Vinyl, which could also be known as sticker shock vinyl. Anyway, and if you check out their Google Map reviews, you'll see that there's the owners likes to get into it with the customers. And anyway, so it's the kind of place where you're going to find LPs that you drool over, that you never find, but you're paying well over top Discogs prices. So anyway, I haven't been here in probably about 5 or 6 years. I'm gonna say it was before COVID, and I've never been back. Mostly just because I walked in, I saw the prices, and I just kind of said my au revoir and off I went. But let's go check it out and see what's going on. I'll come back. Okay, just back from Heartbeat Vinyl, and yeah, I remember it being a lot bigger. It was strange. I walked in and I thought, sometimes when a store kind of sells half of the side of their space to another one, but you kind of have that feeling, right? I kind of walked in and thought, wasn't it twice as big as this? But once I started to look around, I thought, no, this is the same place I've been to before. Mm-hmm. Anyway, what can I say? I don't want to say too much because I don't want to slag off a store, but yeah, so they have a really great selection. They have a great selection of soul and disco and jazz and funk. Great stuff up on the wall. Like all the Meters albums up on the wall. Really great stuff. I couldn't bring myself to take it down and have a look at the prices. I've been looking for Pharoah Sanders Elevation. There's a copy in there for €200. Wow. But when I went in, there was a Johnny Diani Witch Doctor's Son, which I've been looking for quite a while. Saw it up at Den Bosch and kind of hesitated at the price. And he was asking $130 for it, which is just under the top price. So when I walked in, I thought, oh, okay, they still got lots of great stuff, and that's not a crazy price for it. I didn't open it up. It's just a little bit of, that's almost $200 back home. So I'm just not in that mood, shall we say, to drop that kind of money. But the more I went through the stacks, the more I just got started to kind of shake my head. I don't know what to say. These things happen, right? So I went to 2 great stores today. Went to 2 stores today. Went to Souffle Continu, which had absolutely amazing prices. Really, some of the best prices I've seen, hands down, in Paris. Strongly recommend it. Then there's Heartbeat Vinyl, which has an amazing selection. Staff didn't really seem very interested in talking or much of anything. It was fairly grumpy. But it kind of falls into the category of a museum rather than a store that you actually drop money at. Anyway, so sorry, Heartbeat Vinyl, but yeah, it's going to be at least 6 years before I go back, if at all. Anyway, I'm going to head home. Maybe I'll pull out some of my vinyl and show you what I've been buying over the last few days here in Paris. It's my last day before I head home and down near Lyon. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. So here, check out some of the LPs I bought over the last few days. Talk to you later.